this really ties in with another thing called the YAGNI feature. Now, what is YAGNI? YAGNI is for you aren't going to need it. A lot of times, we build things that we really don't need with the perception that how could we live without it? We really have to build it, of course, right? So we tend to really build things that we really don't need. And if we can ask ourselves, do we really need this feature? Do we really need this particular component? We could ask ourselves to do that. And last responsible moment is to really find a time when we no longer can postpone this particular decision. And in my example, the last responsible moment to pick the database was when I have committed to my deployment. I didn't know where I'm going to deploy yet. I was considering multiple different cloud services. And I wanted to wait until I make the decision before I decided the database I wanted to use. In my case, that was the last responsible moment for that specific decision on the database. But what language did I use? That was selected fairly early on. And how did I choose the language? When did I choose the language? I didn't choose the language before I started the project. But the very first day I sat down on the project, I asked myself a few questions. I said I can confidently program in about 8 different languages. So here are the pool of languages available on my hand. I'm willing to learn a language if I have to do. That's perfectly fine as well. But what are the things I wanted to consider? I wanted to consider languages that will not only solve the problem for me, but I also wanted to make sure the set of tools I selected made testability extremely easy. I wanted a complete round trip of testability, both integration, functional, and unit tests. And so I looked for solutions that will help me with that kind of testability. That was a decision I made into it. So these are the